gross, but
Dr. Scott.
Okay.
hey. So the thing is, when I did the fast, almost 30 days into it, I was still at certain points passing solid waste.
Isn't that amazing?
To me, it's incredible. That means that the colon is like huge. It's just wrapped up, and little waste pockets can form, and you can still be going to the bathroom, but you still have waste inside. To me, that's amazing. I mean, I'll never forget that I went so long thinking, because liquid, you put liquid in, you think liquid comes out. Yeah. But at certain periods, I would pass solid waste.
I have heard, a friend of mine told me to do a combination of...
Thank you for
You
sharing.
really wanted to know that, didn't you?
A friend of mine told me to do a fast and psyllium husks, to let psyllium husks be what you ate.
Yeah.
And because that they would help to move the fast along at a more rapid rate and to cleanse you out with fiber.
Yeah, psyllium husk does. It like increases the transit time when you take food in, bring it out. A lot of times, food that's stuck, people don't know that when they eat certain types of food, it just sticks to the walls of the colon. Yeah. And so it needs to have something that, bounce it around and move it out, help to move it out. And, the unfortunate part that I think is that people don't like talking about this kind of stuff.
All the food I eat sticks to the walls of my colon.
People are so, what's the word? Defensive about the eating.
What can I eat? What can I do to bounce it around? Actually, some conscious motion would be good.
Conscious motion. Hey, I have motions that you do sitting. My grandmother's 99. Sitting qigong is what we called it, and we developed it for her. And Michael Clark and I, we've done workshops at Cherokee. Oh, it's amazing. Cherokee Reservation has some of the most unhealthy people in America, I think. It's unbelievable.
Surprising.
Diabetes, overweight.
We have not been, Europeans and just American culture has not been good for Indians.
No. Or African Americans, if you look at the high blood pressure index, it's just like, where is this lactose intolerance? So I think that it's the European diet has overall not been good for anybody. It's like what you were saying about the chemicals and how over time what they do is they kind of catch up with you.
Right.
So that's the thing.
They do.
I eat a ridiculously healthy diet.
Still.
Well, good for you.
Yeah.
Still.
But I drink alcohol.
Still, we've achieved. We've achieved one of those.
So I'll do the movement stuff. You get me on the diet. We'll both work
with me. I need help.
I just deviated from mine. I had a wafer, so that's deviating for me.
I'm serious. She just said she had a healthy diet and she ate about 4 of these like sugar.
I haven't had lunch or breakfast.
I have some muffins.
No, that's all right.
We'll go out and get pizza.
I don't eat pizza.
Because I can throw some muffins in the toast.
Come on now.
I don't eat dairy. I don't eat dairy.
Okay.
You're not vegan, are you?
No, I love cheese.
I'm a vegan, but I occasionally eat salmon. So I don't know what you would call
I am
it.
vegetarian though, but the thing is, for many years, I considered myself a connoisseur of junk food. So I was a classical junk food vegetarian.
Classical, so fries and onion rings.
But they wouldn't be in shortening; they would be in vegetable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can eat really unhealthily being a vegetarian.
You can.
Absolutely.
You can. I'm one of them. I mean, it took me a little while to really figure it out that, just because you're not eating meat doesn't mean, that you don't have a crappy diet. Really. You know how I knew? Is sleep. When I eat well, I don't sleep very long. 4 or 5 hours a night.
Isn't that strange?
That's it. Nothing else, that's the indication. I'll pop right out of bed. I feel great, but the minute I'm not eating well, I start needing 8, 10 hours of sleep. That's my indication of whether my
When I was sick, I stopped. I didn't drink any alcohol for 2 weeks. That's a long time for me. Yay!
We drank that bottle of wine. We had such a party.
Oh, did you really?
We had a party right here. Yes.
You had a pet without asking me.
You weren't here. You left.
I didn't know
That
about it
night?
either, John.
Well, it was just for the people that were here.
That's so mean.
It was on.
Aw.
It was on Saturday, wasn't it? It was on Saturday, I believe. Was it Saturday?
Yeah, it was Saturday.
It was Saturday, and then after you left, I said something about, did the other people at the station want to share in the bottle of wine? So we opened the bottle. I went to the store and got bread and cheese,
Oh, nice.
and we opened the bottle of wine, and we had bread and cheese and wine.
That's good. You broke bread and had. So you did a little what do they call it? Communion.
Yeah.
You might say
You
sort
are
of a URTV communion. Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what it's for. That's
Yes.
what bread and wine is for, right? Two can
Right.
chew.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it was.
I love red wine. Do you like red wine?
That's my favorite.
Yeah, me too.
Cabernet Sauvignon.
I like
Mm-hmm.
Chianti.
Yeah, Chianti's good too.
Mhm. And I like
Why is
Bordeaux's, but I like that heavy red wine.
I wish I knew more about wine.
Mhm.
I tell you, go to a
Yeah.
wine tasting. We went to a friend of ours invited us to a wine tasting. Very elegant event. You go in and there's all of this, this food, and then there's chocolates and cakes and so they have these little sections.
God.
Yeah, well, what it is
all night.
every wine has its different food. Who knew? I certainly didn't. So,
Yeah.
they give you so much wine. By the time you get to the third or fourth bottle, you're looped. You're like, everything tastes good.
You're just supposed to taste it.
Look,
You're not supposed
they
to
fill
chug
your
the-
glass. Look, I don't fill my glass up. They fill it up. They come around
But
and
I'm
they
just
fill.
supposed to swill it around a little
Well,
bit.
you're supposed to,
And
when they
spit it
get the
out?
first few drops in, you're supposed to say, you're supposed to
that
make
it?
this motion and nod.
And he's
Well,
going like,
nobody
keep it
did that.
coming.
Here's what I want. Nobody did the little movement.
He's
I'm
going
watching
like-
everybody
he's going,
else
yeah,
for
you
this
can
little
keep
etiquette
pouring,
things. I didn't see anybody do like that.
Right. You're supposed to do it like this. But the crowd you were at, they were all doing like that.
They were all like,
Like, keep it coming.
keep it coming, baby. And the thing is, I guess you're supposed to savor the food along with this, And I'm like,
I haven't had
how you gonna taste the food if you're like
No, the food you should really just some certain foods go with some wines. Other foods are to clean the palate, to refresh the palate for the taste of the next
I
wine.
didn't explain all of this.
Such as what?
Apparently, I'm
Such as a
supposed to
fruit, a little
really?
piece of apple or a orange wedge or a lemon or something might
I feel so
refresh
low
the
class
palate.
now.
I'm serious. I mean, they have people come to this thing and they don't tell you need to read a manual before you
I
get there.
know. It's like etiquette. Wine tasting.
And they didn't hand out the
etiquette.
manuals?
They didn't hand out any manual.
Oh man.
Do not drink a whole glass of wine. No.
But it was a very interesting event,
What are you doing?
and I tell you, they made a lot of money too.
Oh, did they?
They did.
Oh, you had
Well,
oh, that's right. You had
you figure people are, really,
Well, we should
you don't make good
well,
decisions.
we should have a wine
Hey.
tasting right here in
I think we should.
in URTV.
Hey,
Hey,
Ursula.
Grab some sugar.
Oh,
Hey,
look at that!
You just
brought
gonna come in and have sugar?
We're out
No
of
sugar. That
sugar.
means you just have to sit down.
Would you like some other
She just came in to get sugar for her coffee.
Come on.
That's
Let's
what's
see it for
happened.
you.
That's what's happened to my
I'm not
sugar.
even going to. I'm taking. I'm gonna grab it. All right.
Uh-huh.
Well,
God, look at me shaking.
I'll sit over here. I'm not on the camera.
Key?
Not yet.
Not
No,
yet.
thank you.
Oh my God, that's heavy.
So where's Charlie?
So are you enjoying your first day of May?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right. It's May Day.
You may all be interested. I made the announcement earlier that Dr. Hoffman died 2 days ago. Albert Hoffman has died at his home in Switzerland of a heart attack.
Who's Dr.
Scientist.
Dr. Hoffman was the research chemist that invented LSD.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yes.
Oh, lost
He
to
died at the
society.
ripe old age of 102.
102.
102.
Did he partake in what he made?
I
A
hope
little bit, not to excess,
Oh.
but to
probably did it to the day he died. Good man.
he.
That stuff freaks me out. I'm sorry. I just think it's really like. I mean, we're talking about LSD.
Yeah. Well, sometimes we do.
There's things that are like derived in a laboratory like that. Sometimes I don't know. It just seems really
Yeah, but all things.
You mean like
scary
ecstasy?
to me. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like it's one thing to take like natural hallucinogenics, but I
Yeah.
just think. I mean, it's interesting the research that they did on that, but not that
But
interested
here's the
in
thing.
myself.
Correct me if I'm wrong. LSD in its most basic form is a natural substance. It's only refined in a laboratory.
Well,
Am I right or wrong
everything
about
is in
that?
its most-
That's right.
plastic and its most
Sort
basic
of, sort
form.
of yes, and sort of no. Ergot compounds people have tripped off of ergot compounds similar to LSD, and maybe extremely trace amounts of LSD here and there in other naturally formed ergot compounds, but but specifically that particular molecule synthesized and crystallized out. It's a complex thing for me to explain. What it is you have a particular molecule, and you can make various salts of them and things like that, and various closely related molecules, and each molecule, a different salt will have a slightly different effect or different long lastingness or something like that about it. There'll be variations in them, and that's how they find he was working on blood flow stimulant, and it was interesting that I heard him speak. He said nicotinic acid, nicotine, was a similar molecule that he was looking for.
LSD?
He was looking to lysergic acid, and he was trying to design a blood flow stimulant, and so it was by design. But he was not making a psychedelic by design. He was making a blood flow stimulant by design. But it turned out to be its side effects were more profound than so. But you can Google it. There's a lot of Albert Hoffman on the internet. He usually speaks in I guess it's German, or what do the Swiss speak? Swedish. I would think that the people from Sweden would speak Swedish, but the people from Switzerland speak Swedish as well. You think?
I think so.
Anyway.
Or how about Norwegian? Who speaks Norwegian?
Norwegians?
Why do you know you're from Wales?
We haven't figured out what the Welsh speak. Anyways, some of his interviews and speeches are in English, and some are translated. So you have to read the notes at the bottom of the page. But
I see we could do
but
some
it's
tea
very
reading at the
interesting.
end of this.
There's some very interesting stuff on the internet, and so that's I recommend that if anybody who's interested, go check it out. But the
How do you get started on this? Oh, no.
Oh,
because he
He
died
died today.
And then I was saying that. I mean, not that. I think like all that, everything's been real, and there's been really amazing art that's come out of LSD.
And a lot of
Culture.
spiritual experiences
Yeah.
for folks.
Sure.
I'm not one of them. Actually, my
Come on, you
one
can tell us. We
experience,
won't tell anyone.
my one experience with LSD was someone slipped it in to a drink.
cup of tea.
Whatever.
Well, it wasn't a cup of tea.
It's like I didn't.
But
even
I
know.
had the
Yeah,
crazy. I thought I was losing my mind
Victim.
until.
So did Albert Hoffman.
Yeah, no, I didn't know. See, it's one thing you take it and you know.
God, can you
It's
imagine?
another thing you take it and you don't know what's going on with you. You're
That's
like,
awful.
yeah, and
That's totally unfair, isn't that?
It is.
That's
That
completely
is
unfair.
It's
awful.
unfair
Then
for someone.
tell you-
how long were you like?
For at least 3 or 4 hours, I can remember paranoid
God.
psychosis.
Right.
But I tell you, what I did get out of it was
Check
a
the drink.
great appreciation for my mind. Because I had to keep talking to myself over. Literally, I had to talk myself into being sober. But I didn't know I was even high. So you know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, something's wrong
How
here.
did you know? I mean, did you get like a test done? I mean, at what point did you realize?
The person
something?
told me
Oh.
later.
Move that
much
little
later.
square thing
Give that to
around
you.
to
Is this a friend?
It was supposed to be a friend. We
over
were no
to
longer
here.
friends after
For
that
her.
experience.
Make it on her.
Believe me.
All right.
I mean, can you imagine if you had, done something?
Yeah, I would
been
imagine that
hurt
people
or-
would actually kill themselves
Yeah.
because.
I heard some horror
If you
stories. I don't know if
can't-
they're true. They're probably urban legends.
I've
but
heard horror
But I'm telling you.
like people like
My brother.
peeling their skin
Really?
My brother
off
flipped
and
out
stuff.
in Yakutsky, Japan on acid. He was in the hospital for about 2 weeks.
He flipped out and did what?
He flipped out on some really good acid. He took a really lot. And he was in the Navy at the time, which adds to the paranoia, which caused him to flip out.
Yeah.
He had what at the time?
He was in the Navy in
Did he
Yakutsky,
think
Japan,
he was
and he was
Jesus
like tripping
Christ?
really good, and the SPs just kind of went and ruined his high.
I've known about like
Him put
I've
him in
heard
the
of like
hospital for 2
3
weeks.
stories of people who think they're Jesus Christ on LSD, and they all think it's a unique experience or something. But I think it's like a very common experience, like with our Christian like psyche or something.
Maybe Jesus.
You know
was
what
on
my
LSD.
theory is? I have a theory on this.
Yeah.
That you go back to, what is your primal, belief system. And it probably has a lot to do with the way you were raised. But if you were raised that Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior, then
that's what you
that's
see.
Jesus. But I don't think a Muslim would have the same experience. Is what I'm saying. If
Oh
you
no,
took
that would be
LSD.
interesting if a
Well, he
Muslim.
see Jesus. Is my question.
If a Muslim ate acid and decided he was Jesus, that would be
that would be very.
That would be a story.
Maybe that might be the beginning of
problem
some
would be the
peace
fact
talk.
that
I'm telling you, I think we would be making
How
progress.
about a
They don't believe in the
Christian?
resurrection. They believe Jesus was
right.
Yeah, they
a prophet,
do
but
believe
don't
in
the-
Jesus. Like
but they don't
Jesus
believe in the
is their
resurrection.
thing.
See, they believe
That's
he was
the
a
thing.
prophet, came to the earth and
He
died
is
on
in
a
their
cross and
teachings.
didn't come out of
They're
the
all
tomb.
Abrahamic religions. Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. They're all Abrahamic religions.
Yeah.
Abraham.
All coming
Started
from
them all.
Abraham. Yes, the Abrahamic covenant,
That's right.
where you have
So
Ishmael.
it's the same God, everybody. It's like
Yeah, but he made
So
different
they-
covenants. He made a different covenant with Abraham through Isaac that he did.
well, I
with
think you should
Ishmael.
have been more consistent, then.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't God's fault that Sarah decided to try and slick trick God.
Oh, it's Sarah's
Here we
fault.
go.
No, you got Sarah who's 90 years old. Got Abraham who's in his 90s, and they figured, well, hey, we're not going to have no kid.
The stories.
And then she decided, she
That's the
decided
story.
through the custom of the area, she decided to have one of her handmaidens birth a child upon her lap, which gave her a lawful heir of a child of heir. See, we really don't know how many children Abraham had because concubine wives.
We don't even know if Abraham existed, really.
Hey, did you see Zeitgeist?
No.
Now
Did
Zeitgeist.
you
the
see
movie?
Zeitgeist?
I did.
Oh, tell us. I thought it
Now
was
Zeitgeist
excellent.
blew away a lot of the concepts of religion and went into more astrological
Right.
concepts, and it
I'm
talked
sorry, I
about.
don't mean to be
That was my favorite part of Zeitgeist. The
Disrespectful,
first,
but-
the first,
I hated the end of it.
knows,
the
right?
first quarter of Zeitgeist
really knows.
was what I call
No,
comparative
The
religion,
Hebrews can trace
and the
it.
comparative
In some of the
religion
family
section
lines, they can
was my
trace it that
favorite
far.
part.
I mean,
Me too.
just
And
because
then the
you
middle
prove it doesn't
section
mean
was
they
my
were, like,
least favorite part, and I liked the ending.
I mean, I think
But you didn't like the
The
ending.
middle was more fear
You
mongering.
gotta
It makes
understand.
sense,
You gotta-
yeah, but
yeah,
that
you
doesn't
gotta
say
understand
the-
But the
you gotta
beginning
understand
was
culture
awesome.
at that
I
time.
thought so
It was
too.
a lot different
Awesome,
than
you
culture
know,
is.
just how
You
they
couldn't
brought
tell
in
me who your great-grandmother
astrology
is.
and
Problem.
the whole idea
I can't tell you
that
mine.
there's a recreation
But
of this
they
theme
could. It was part
over
of
and over
teaching
again in
to
our
the
culture.
children to learn.
So the
My
Jews would
great-grandfather
have
was
it,
so-and-so. My
the Muslims would have it, and even
It's the same thing, right?
further beyond.
Remember the movie?
Genealogy.
Yeah, remember the movie Enemy Mine?
That's in my DVD. Excuse me.
Enemy Mine was based.
See ya.
Enemy Mine was based where we were at war with space aliens, and an Earthman and a space alien end up on the same planet. Space alien has a child. Well, what he has to do since the alien dies is he's got to teach this child its entire lineage, all the way back to the founding father, so that he could take the child back to its culture and be accepted in this culture. And part of its culture was to memorize the lineage. And cultures until probably about 400 years ago did keep up with their family lineage through stories, through
Yeah, no,
through
I come from Europe.
documentation. Yeah, I know. I'm from Europe. I got a pope in the family, so my lineage goes pretty far.
Well, I'm gonna have to make new information stuff.
Yeah, this is editing day.
It is.
So I'm gonna take my leave as well.
Wait a minute.
Sorry, but
Are you gonna be around for a while? Are you gonna stay?
messages.
I think for a little bit.
Thank you for the tea and the biscuit.
Get everybody leaving.
Come on in.
Come on in. It's the tea party,
Mr.
man.
Man, yeah, I supposed to shake his hand.
I'm running out of guests.
You want to guess?
Yeah.
We need you in here.
Yeah, fine.
Here, are you through?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Should I take my...
Here, no, I'll take it. Over here, hand me your cup if you would, please. Okay. there
Thank
we
you so much.
See you.
go. Are you staying?
I'll stay for a
Oh,
little.
okay. Then you get your cup back.
All right, get my cup back.
Yes.
All right. Whoa, everybody's leaving. We're gonna be in abandoned.
Bye.
See you.
Don't get burned.
Abandonment. That's it. Well, that was it. Well, anyway, now you and I can talk about Zeitgeist. We both like Zeitgeist.
I love that movie. I mean, I feel like every person in who has a strong attachment to their faith. Not that it should shake their faith, but they know that it's not just about Christianity. It's not just about Islam. It's not just about Judaism. That there's a common link to all.
It's been running through it for before whatever
they
your
gave it a
faith.
name.
Yeah, before this was going on, even before your religion came about.
Right.
And was built on the foundation of. Religion has built upon the foundation of religion back to prehistory. We can't even trace how far back it goes, but as far back as we can trace, it's built on foundations that were so it's nothing new.
No, but you know what it does do? A lot of people were turned off. I would send them the link. The Zeitgeist.
They get angry.
They get angry at me, and it's like, basically I feel like, what has happened, I think, is a lot of times religion, takes, a person gives up their mind, their beliefs, they refuse to be challenged by things, and they kind of, allow religion to take the place of like knowledge. So like all the knowledge that has gone before their religion is out.
Right.
And only the religion is in.
Right.
And to me, that's ridiculous. I think that it cuts out other people on the planet, other people who came before and after. Buddhism, Taoism, old belief systems.
Why do so many religious people seem to become so close-minded?
That's the
I
don't know.
It does, and then we see it. We see, and I mean, I don't mean to give everybody else a break or anything, but the example I was going to use is we're real aware of Al Qaeda as being a fundamentalist thing and all, and we say, oh well, what a problem they are. Well, they're just another closed-minded religion. We have a handful of our own.
We got them here just like everybody else.
And they tend to cause trouble the same
wherever they go.
Yeah.
I mean, look at all of the bombings that have had. Well, not so many, but the bombings that have happened here. Some of them have been, right-wing groups,
right,
or militant groups that basically their belief systems are, it's our way or the highway. I mean, look at the neo-Nazis. Look at what are the skinheads? I mean, my goodness, talk about a rigid belief system. I just think that the only way that we're going to survive, I don't think that it has a lot to do. It's amazing how people collecting cans and aluminum and save the earth, and I think that's great.
Yeah.
But I think relationships with each other, is probably more important than that, because if we don't save our relationships with one another, the planet seems to have taken care of itself a lot longer than we've been in here. That's my point.
Right. Well, I say how can we expect two countries of thousands of people to be able to live together in peace when two people often can't live together in peace in a marriage, three people can't live together in peace as roommates. You know what I mean?
And go to a meeting. I mean, the last meeting I went to, I kind of swore off of meetings because the last one I went to, it was supposed to be a peaceful meeting about a peaceful cause.
Or was it a peace rally? You went to a peace rally and they killed each other?
Everybody died at the end
Did
of
you get some of those violent hippies at the peace rally?
You know, long dreads, the whole deal.
Uh-huh. And they were dangerous ones?
Look, I tell you, you can kill somebody with words faster than you can kill them with a gun.
Yeah.
That's what I believe. You know, so.
I don't know about faster, but just as dead.
Well, here's my point, though. If a person shoots out words and you are intimidated or afraid in some way and you don't respond, your brain shuts down, you're dead for all sense and, you know, for all practical purposes. You're not visible. You're not present. And I see people doing that all the time with each other. Mm-hmm. Like they use words that, you know, after they're used, people don't function well. Mm-hmm. And to me, it's like
I know I'm that way. I'm that way. If somebody assaults me verbally or whatever,
I am too.
I can't.
You know, I have to go away. I'm more of a person who goes away and thinks about things,
I may have to be gone for days.
You know,
maybe years.
You know, and some people they pride themselves. Whoa. Some people pride themselves on quick repartee. You know, I'm not one.
I know.
That's not my thing.
I don't.
I think about things, and when people speak, I go home sometimes and I rewrite it down, and I'm like, what does that mean? You know, what the heck did they say?
Really?
I do, because I think that people, when they talk, it should be coming from someplace deep inside of themselves rather than just running their mouth. But I don't know.
You see what happens? I run out of this kind of tea right here, and everybody gets up and leaves.
Which is that that's the good tea. Now what you doing?
I'm gonna refill it with water, and it'll make more.
So we need to make an announcement.
Yeah. See, I can't put much water in there, as you see. It pours out the lid when you try to pour it. You need a new teapot. I tend to break a lot of teapots here.
Well, you got a lot of them. Just keep them coming.
Well, they're so small ones. I'm down to my.
I'm gonna have to start collecting teapots for you. Every now and then I see them.
Yeah. Well, that's what I do. And then, the ones that I use all the time, I break. The best ones I break. And so I'm down to the ones that, the bad ones never break. They
last forever.
But I don't use them.
Sling those against the wall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the green tea is probably ready. If you like.
This is green here?
Mm-hmm. Have you ever had green tea?
Oh yeah, I love green tea.
Oh, well.
Is this oolong or?
No, that's I can give you It's from Wuyi Mountain in China.
That's good.
Wuyi
Shan.
Wuyi Shan. Okay. Wuyi Shan. It's Wuyi Shan.
Wuyi Shan.
Yeah, you figure it out.
See, now you've got me, you know, I'm going into my Chinese thing here.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. Tell us about that.
Well, when we were talking, I was going to say that my grandma, we developed these exercises for her, and they're setting.
Oh. Uh-huh.
But they actually activate, especially for people who set long times. And my brother, he's a truck driver.
Yes.
And they're really just, you know, just moving and circling the body and keeping the joints open, you know.
Uh-huh.
And so you think of the body as like one big joint after another.
Uh-huh.
You know, from the spine all the way down, there are these joints, the fingers, the wrists. And one of my teachers always said in the martial arts that if you could keep the joints open, then the blood would come into the joints, and you would always have the circulation. It's because we don't circle enough. And so that's the idea, is that you circle everything. You circle your neck, you know, wherever there's a joint. And the funny part about it, though, is
I hurt myself.
you got to try to even circle your vertebra, you know? And that's pretty hard to do. And then all the way down to the waist, wherever there's a major joint. And so setting. So the funny part about it is, you know, in the 18-wheelers, you know, they have, you know, the ride is pretty cushiony. You know, so I'll be next to my brother every now and then. I'll go out with him, and we'll do the exercises, and he's bouncing, I'm bouncing, and we're still
Bouncing and wiggling.
bouncing and circling, you know.
Do you listen to music when you're doing that?
You listen to music. What I try to say on this exercise, what makes it interesting is world music, because there's so many different rhythms. You know, it's not just one type of rhythm.
Right.
And the idea with circling is that you break rhythm. So you're not just in one solid mode. So, you know, there's African maybe, and then the Latin, you know, dance. And so you just keep going with it. You circle your arms, you know, and then more monotonous rhythms allows you to get the breathing then. If there's a more calm, monotonous rhythm, the circle is...
Like Tibetan world music or something like that.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
For breathing.
Exactly. And the rhythm with that is that...
And their exercise is breathing so much. Yeah.
Exactly. And
Hey.
How are you?
Good. Good to see you.
I saw your excellent work here.
Thank you.
Your special effects are great.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, is that a dirty cup?
Probably, yeah.
Well, no, I'll tell you exactly what it is.
Dirty.
The spoon is dirty and the saucer's dirty, but the cup is not, because what happened was Ursula came in here to get sugar for her coffee, and she drank coffee, but we don't have any sugar. So if you wanted sugar, that's a hard one.
Why this.
That's a bad teapot. Bad
Yeah,
teapot.
that's the teapot from hell there.
Yeah.
We need another teapot.
Yes. I haven't had a chance to obtain one yet. Oh, I'll get you a saucer.
So I had a question, and it's very interesting that you would show up. How the heck do you get all your special effects? What kind of software are you using?
Yeah, tell him about it, because he was asking me and I couldn't give him the details, you know. I don't know, is that he steeped enough to be anything to it?
Yeah, looks pretty good. I use the same software that they use to do special effects on broadcast television.
Oh.
It's but there's plenty of software out there. I can't mention that because it's a commercial program. But where you want to start is a program called Blender. Blender3D.org, which is open source. It's free.
Really? Blender?
And it's
3D.
a very sophisticated program. You can do really nice animations in it.
Really?
From special effects all the way up.
And it blends well right in, well, for iMovie, right? I'm jumping up to Final Cut.
Yeah.
But it works in iMovie?
Yeah.
So what you would make like a movie?
Yeah,
out
you
of it?
make like a movie and then import
And
it.
then import it. Really?
And you can even import what's called an alpha layer, where you have just like a little character animated, and you put it on your mix it in with, say, you sitting there on camera,
Really?
and you got the little character there.
Cool. So you started with that?
Yeah, I started with that
wow.
one.
And then you stepped up.
And then I moved up, but it's not a huge jump.
Mm-hmm. Is it like a high learning curve on it?
It takes a little effort, yes, but it's worth it. There's all sorts of free tutorials on the net and everything for it, so it's
Nice.
pretty neat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, all right.
Well, all right.
All right.
Well, I am going to take off. Thank you so much.
I was just getting ready to say, if you would scoot up, you'd be on camera. Are you carrying two memory sticks around with you?
Well, I have a great need for memory. One's an 8 gigabyte.
Whoa,
One
that's
and another's
pretty good.
one.
Yeah.
And what I'm doing, check this out. What I'm doing is testing this one out, the 8 gig out, because I'm wanting to buy, and to make an investment of buying about 100 of them and then reselling them. So I believe in multiple streams of income. So I need to. Yeah, I'm trying to do that. But the thing is, I can get them. You know, and that's why I wanted to test them, because I can get them for like $20. And you know, I don't know if you've priced these things; they're pretty expensive, 8 gigabytes. So I'm testing it.
Yeah.
And it's working out pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, 8 gigs is a nice, pretty nice size.
Yeah.
You need to know also if you do invest in, what'd you say, 100 of them, you need to know what is going to be the failure rate among 100.
Right, and that's one of the things that that I'm, in discussion with, because there is a failure rate, and nobody can tell me
what it is
percentage-wise what they are out of 100.
Right.
So that's why I haven't bought them yet.
And China is a long way away.
I know.
Well, there.
And they've had problems with them.
Right.
Where there's an interesting thing they've done with these in the beginning. It looks like they're pretty much getting to the point where they're weeding them out.
Yeah.
But what they've done, which I don't know the science on this, but they've figured out a way of fooling Windows into thinking that it's an 8 gig drive, when in fact it's only a 1 gig drive.
Oh, really?
And it's all done through software. So that once you get to the 1 gig, which is probably a long time after you leave China or wherever you got it from, all of a sudden it starts to fail. So that's why I got them, because I wanted to know.
You just start by loading a few movies on it.
Oh yeah, I've done it. That's what I wanted to do at first, because I knew there was that controversy.
Loading a few movies on it and see if you can play those movies back on a different computer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I've got this one to the max. I maxed it out, so I'm looking. And another thing what it would do is write ridiculous things onto the drive. So you're like, what are the Chinese trying to do here?
Oh yeah. So. It would write ridiculous things onto what
it's
drive?
like to the 8 gig. This was ones that previous, but now they seem to have, I guess it's no longer like an oddity to find an 8 gig drive. But a couple of years ago, finding one, people would go to China and they're like, oh, I got a 8 gig drive, and you're like, whoa, for like $20, and then a month later,
the computer's full of viruses.
Full of viruses, yeah. So that's why I have two.
I ordered some lens filters for my camera the other day from China. It took about a week to come.
Some what?
Some lenses, lens filters.
Filters.
Yes.
Were they good?
Yeah, great, cheap.
Yeah. See, I think there's a big fear about it, but if you really tap into, the Chinese are just like we are. There's a lot of unscrupulous business folks in the U.S.
You just
too.
got to look at what's offered and figure out, does this make sense?
Yeah.
And if it sounds too good to be true, usually it is.
Mm-hmm. I just got a. Oh, you might be interested to see this. I just got a camera. And,
a still camera.
Or HDV.
You got is yours? Which one did you get?
The HB30.
The Canon or
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, look at it.
That's nice.
Now here's what I did today for the first time.
Now how close is that to the Sony we got?
Well, it's pretty decent.
But here's the thing.
This is 1080. This is 1920 by 1080. It puts out a pretty good photo.
Right.
The only difference is in the lens and the color. You don't get quite the color you do with the big expensive cameras, but for the money, this is a good deal.
Well, that's what I'm saying. How much difference is it between that and the one that had the Sony sitting right over there on the wall? Obviously the Canon's not going to have a Zeiss lens in it. The Sony does.
No, but Canon makes their own lens.
They make a good lens.
And that's their primary business, always has been.
They make a good lens.
So it's probably very equivalent. This is a 10X. I think that's I think that's a 10.
Is that a 10?
And look at this. This is right in about in the same spot that it is on the side. It looks like
they're all very similar.
Looks like it came out of the same factory pretty close.
It may have.
But that's a nice camera.
Yeah,
It'll take
what
good
I've been
stuff.
experimenting with is the 30p for the web, and the quality, the Vimo website where you can download HD.
I know, and I've started doing 30p for Vimo because
Have you?
I didn't pay attention to that at first. I put it on 29.97. It stutters pretty bad. So.
Well, you should see on this going from directly from here into iMovie. I just try an iMovie first, and then putting it up. Man, the quality is unbelievable.
30p.
30 frames per second progressive.
Yeah,
None
it's
interlaced.
just sweet. It's just really nice. Yeah, I'd like to know what your experience is just doing it. So you just started putting it up, or you've
Yeah, I've got 6 or 7 videos up already. I put some of my waterfall videos up.
How's it look?
They look good, but they stutter a little bit. That's why I started doing them 30p instead of 29.97.
It's a lot better than
interlaced.
30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But still, that's not a perfect solution. The only good HD streaming I've seen is DivX, but you've got to download a special player for that. You know, not just anybody can watch it. Although the player's free.
It's very complicated to use, I have found.
Yeah, that's true.
What is this one?
Which one?
Because I can't read it. The
Oh, that is the. Let me see. That's the component. Component out for like.
okay. Is it red, green, blue, or is it XY? Is it
Red, green, blue.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Huh?
That's actually, well, component out should be red, yellow, white.
And what's
Red,
that?
yellow,
What's
white.
the red, green, blue?
Well,
Red, green, blue is.
Is that the?
Oh, I'm
No, that's
sorry.
component.
Composite is
Right.
red, yellow. Yeah, red, green, blue is component. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but then there's the other
It's
one.
RGB.
RGB.
Yeah.
And there's one.
Well, that's what RGB stands for.
Yeah.
That's the
It's RGB, man.
The HDMI out.
Oh, that has HDMI out.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't played around with that yet.
You should. That gives you a deeper color space. It looks
wow.
better. Yeah. I have that on my, of course, on my
That
big.
comes out of FireWire, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's FireWire.
No, HDMI is a different
Oh no, it has
interface.
its own connection.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But you gotta have a capture card for it. You can't capture it with FireWire.
Yeah.
But you can go right out to an external through HDMI.
I don't think we have that on these Sonys, do we?
Yes, you do.
Do we have that on these?
I'm not sure on the HC10. I know I do on mine. Yeah, you should have it on those. I have it on the HC1, which is.
How you doing?
I am doing many, many things.
I know, man. I just saw you with a bunch
Multitask.
of lovely, beautiful women,
Mm.
and you had a wizard
I've
hat
seen
on.
that.
I'm like,
Oh, that one, yeah. Well,
That's
that's
great.
the magic of editing right there.
what? The women weren't really there?
Oh, the women were there, it's just that I made it appear to be a
It
lot
was
more
John.
there than I
It was
was.
John that wasn't there.
I found that footage 5 years ago. I just kept myself in. Evidently the warnings were not heeded. HFC is playing once again.
HFC. What is HFC?
Well, it used to be Taz, the band I'm in with my brothers.
uh-huh.
We're now called HFC.
Changed your name already?
Yes. Give us a week. We'll change it again.
HFC.
Yes.
And there were warnings?
Well, you would think there'd be warnings when we play, but
Gentlemen,
You're going to run
you
away.
guys have to run.
Okay. Thank you for saying as
Thank
long as
you. Thank
Good
you.
to see you.
we're performing tomorrow at Mike's Side Pocket.
Mike's Side Pocket.
Yes.
What the heck is Mike's Side? Where is Mike's Side Pocket?
It is a little bar. One assumes pool games go on there. About maybe a block down from the Rocket Club
Okay.
in West Asheville.
Yeah. A lot of things popping up in West Asheville.
A block down, a block toward.
Away from Harvest Records, down towards, I'm not really sure.
Okay. All right, toward the highway, or even past the highway, the other side of the highway, maybe.
Quite possibly.
Okay. Have you been there? Okay.
At night. So.
All right. There's green tea in the white pot. There's
White tea in the green pot.
no. What's the flower tea? It's a
Jasmine?
Jasmine flowery tea in the green pot.
Well, there goes my theory of a symmetrical universe.
If you manage to hold on for that long, congratulations.
However, I have John and John in stereo, so that brings it back some.
Are you a supersymmetrist? No, I'm a supersymmetrist.
I'm an asynchronous.
You're an asynchronous.
I've always been asynchronous, yeah.
Does that mean that you dance? Did you dance? That you dance to the beat of a different drummer?
Sometimes I just shuffle around to the beat of a different drummer.
Or no drummer at all?
Yeah, it just depends. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, that's a good picture.
You think?
Almost.
Almost.
John, you're
Like-
cutting John off. This John off a
Oh,
little bit.
I know. Well, I can't get every.
You're cutting right channel John off a little bit.
I can't get every.
Left channel John's up in there.
It's okay. I don't mind this. You want to get rid of the torso? Be my guest. Like I said, lose a bit of the
You
torso.
might need it later. You might regret it later. When your head falls down into your lap, you'll regret it.
I see myself being more of a cloud of disembodied limbs and organs and such. That'd be interesting.
There we go. Oh, I had a good 420 roll today. That I had the fire show from the from the closing of the Jolly Rouge, and I had Isaac singing a song.
Cool.
Even I missed the Jolly Rouge. I went there a few times.
Did you? Were you there for our benefit night?
No.
We did a URTV benefit there. Who's outside?
That was Ursula.
It figures.
She's a scaperer. She scapers.
I've been announcing all day that a couple of days ago, Dr. Albert Hoffman died of a heart attack.
The guy that invented LSD.
Yes,
Really?
yes, and mad scientist of note. And he died at the age of 102, which is...
That LSD, will get you every time.
yeah, that's what I say. That's more impressive considering the fact that he was a research chemist. On average, research chemists have a shorter life expectancy due to the toxic
fumes
chemicals
and
that they're
fumes,
constantly exposed to during their career.
That's logical.
And it has a tendency to shorten their lives. And that's a push that's been like if you go to UNC State or something right now in the chemistry department, you'll see there's a real push of making students aware of that so that they'll be even that much more